everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have a blanket, house moving castle blanket. It's my favorite blanket. Alright, I thought that I would do something a little bit different that I haven't really done before on my channel, and that's telling you everything that I watched in 1 month. So I'm planning to do this every single month starting January. Of course, I know we're a little bit into February already, but you know, I did not think of this beforehand. So I do want to give a shout out to Karsten. I watch his videos a lot. He does these types of videos and I absolutely love them. Each month I watch them. So yeah, shout out to him because I definitely got inspired by him. Go check out his channel. He talks about movies, which is cool. Alright, so I watched a lot of things in January. I'm actually surprised of myself. I started the year with a Pixar marathon. Yes, I ended the year with The Incredibles and I started it with Monsters Inc. and then I watched all 4 Toy Stories. It was cathartic, it was great. I felt like a kid again. This rewatch of the Toy Story series solidified my ranking of Toy Story movies. And for me, it's definitely 2, 3, 1, 4. Okay, then I watched Promising Young Woman, which is a movie that has been talked about a lot. I talked about it in my best of 2020 movies because I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great in the way that it used colors. I absolutely loved the color palette. It was very pastel and bubblegum, kind of sweet color palette, when in reality, the movie was a lot darker than even I anticipated. I did not expect it to turn out like that at all. I really liked the soundtrack, like I mentioned in my other video. I thought Stars Are Blind. What a song. I had not heard that song since like 2000 and I don't even know, a long time. Alright, then I watched Lovers Rock, which I also talked about in my video of best 2020 movies. Lovers Rock was just incredibly smooth and just captivating, kind of hypnotizing, I feel like. The way that the camera moved along with, you know, the characters just swinging and dancing and having fun, and I just felt like hypnotized watching this movie for some reason. I don't know. It was great. Then I watched I'm No Longer Here, which is my favorite movie of 2020. It was just incredible. The performances, they were so honest, and it's such a rare story too. I don't know, I've never seen a movie like this before. Like I said, my favorite of 2020. Then I watched The Assistant, which is about this girl that works in this huge production company, and it's pretty much like the job that every single film graduate wants. However, she is extremely uncomfortable. She hates it there. She hates her life basically working there, because the things that are going on in the studio, it's just things that you just don't want to be around them. You don't want things to happen to you or to anybody really, and she just has to sit there quietly. This movie was extremely quiet, which made it very uncomfortable. This one was definitely a tough one to go through, but I thought it was beautifully done. Then I watched Memories of Murder, which I was so excited about because I love Parasite and I've been meaning to watch more of Bong's movies. It was so exhilarating. I never felt bored, not even for a second. A movie about murder, I don't feel like it's supposed to be funny, but this one definitely was. The humor was just built in so naturally, and he is really a master at that, because Parasite I thought was hilarious as well. I really think that he's a genius, and I'm very excited to watch more of his movies. And I actually watched another one of his films during January, and it was Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer was bold. It was definitely a wild ride. No pun intended. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too into it in the first half of the movie, but the second half and the ending definitely changed my perspective. I found this movie incredibly original, and again, it was just so bold, and I just really admired all of the turns that it took. Again, no pun intended. He is able to tackle important themes in these incredibly original stories. I also watched 20th Century Women, which I'm really surprised I hadn't watched before, because this is like right up my alley. When I say that I love every single character of this movie, I really mean it. All of these characters were extremely interesting. I feel like they were very workshopped. They really went deep into each character's personality and backstory and why they act the way that they act, why they say the things that they say. And I really loved that. I thought they were very endearing, every single one of them. The story, it's not like there was a specific story that has like a beginning, middle, and end. It was more like a coming of age kind of general story that each character was going through. Then I watched Pieces of a Woman on Netflix. This one was a tough one because while I admit it's a really important story that needs to be told, it's something that a lot of women go through, and it's just heartbreaking to watch. It was not a very enjoyable movie. Again, I know it's not an enjoyable topic. I just didn't feel good while I was watching it. After I watched it, it was just not enjoyable. And of course, not every movie has to be super enjoyable, but it's not a movie that I would say, oh, I want to watch it again. I did really like the first 20 minutes of the movie, or 30 minutes, I don't remember, but it was the first scene of the movie. It was incredible, and I kind of wish that the rest of the movie took more risks like the beginning did. Okay, so after I watched Pieces of a Woman, I was like, I need a cleanse. I've been watching a lot of serious movies with dark topics. Let me just cleanse my mind. And of course, I watched Pride and Prejudice. I love Pride and Prejudice, and it always makes me feel better. It's just a joy to watch. I still get chills when Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy just barely touch hands. How can there be so much sensual tension with just touching hands, you know? I feel like that's incredible filmmaking. It's just great. You know, when you need a cleanse, put on some Pride and Prejudice and marvel at the dances and dresses and love stories. After Pride and Prejudice, I was like, I'm still in this period piece train. Let's watch Ammunite. I don't know how to say it. I was very excited for this movie because, of course, it's my girl Saoirse Ronan. I absolutely love her and I will watch everything that she's in. I also love Kate Winslet, so I was very excited for this. Also, they play lovers. I was just ready to have Portrait of the Lady on Fire #2. But it just was not it. It was Portrait of the Lady on Fire, except the lady was not on fire. She was asleep on a rock. I don't know. What I'm saying is that it was boring. The whole movie just dragged and nothing really interesting happened. Except for the last 15 minutes of the movie, my attention was like this. The rest of the movie was just bland. After that, I watched Bombshell, which was also pretty underwhelming. I just didn't find it to be compelling at all, or even like interesting, which is weird because there was a lot of things happening in this movie, but I just felt like it was messy. The story was messy, the cinematography was just underwhelming, like I said. And also, for some really strange reason, there was a jump scare in this movie that I was not expecting. I was like, why is there a jump scare? This is so random. Then I rewatched Kiki's Delivery Service because I was already halfway through January and I hadn't seen a Ghibli film and I just needed to, you know? Then I moved on to Black Bear, starring Aubrey Plaza, which had me really captivated. I'd never seen a movie like this before, where I really thought it was gonna be a thriller, kind of horror-ish, but it really wasn't. I did not know what was gonna happen in this movie at all. Again, I was just captivated from beginning to end. It's definitely strange. It's divided into 2 parts, a story told 2 different ways. I thought it was really original, and I love Aubrey Plaza. Please, Aubrey Plaza in more movies. Then I rewatched When Harry Met Sally. I feel like that's peak romantic comedy. Sometimes you just need a good old romantic comedy to brighten your day. And man, this is it. It's super entertaining. I love the dialogue, the script. Carrie Fisher is in it, which I did not remember. It's definitely one of those rom-coms that you need to watch. Then I watched both of Euphoria's specials. I really liked Rue's episode, although I was extremely in love with Jules' episode. I feel like they made Rue's episode, obviously because of COVID, they were like, okay, let's keep it in this room, let's keep it to one scene, and we're just gonna have a really deep conversation that otherwise we wouldn't have on a normal episode. And I really appreciated that. I thought it was really interesting and well done. But then what they did with Jules' episode was just incredibly beautiful and raw and emotional. They really deep dived into her as a person. There are just so many layers to Jules, and it was just beautiful to watch them unfold. Props to Hunter because she did write this episode, which is incredible. Then I watched Kajillionaire, which was really sad. I was not expecting it to be so bittersweet. Of course, it was really funny and quirky and weird, and it just had a lot of elements to it, but I was not expecting sad to be one of those elements. It's a movie about craving affection and wanting to be loved. It was wonderful and honest, and I was in love with the score. I think it really added to that bittersweet feeling that the movie had. And finally, the last movie that I watched in January was But I'm a Cheerleader. I'd never seen this one before, and I always wanted to, and I'm so glad I did because I loved it. The color palette is incredible. It's like someone just puked a Barbie dream house all over this set. It was just this really bright pinks and really bright blues, and then this purple room, and it was just so color coordinated. The writing was hilarious. Again, another movie that kind of felt very bittersweet. It was really funny, but it also had this bittersweet feeling to it. Yes, it's tackling this problem in a funny way, but it doesn't take away that it is a problem. It is something that people really do go through. So yeah, it did have this bittersweet feeling again, like Kajillionaire did. But it did it in this like Barbie-core aesthetic, which I loved. Alright, that's everything that I watched in January. I feel like I watched so many things, and I'm really excited to do this again at the end of February. So let me know what you watched in January down below in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.